In part one, what I covered was I covered using the Maitreya Mesh Lara HUD, the utility HUD that comes with it. I covered this is it on my screen here in the top left, so I've already attached it and moved it to a comfortable position. I covered the 3 tabs that come with the utility HUD and what they do, just a quick overview. And I covered the Catwa utilities HUD, so this gives you a bunch of different options here for your Catwa head. And I covered the Maitreya, Lara, and the Omega Catwa relays. So these are both things that you purchase from the Omega store in World, as well as obviously your mesh body, and they allow you to use any Omega applier on your body. So as you can imagine, that opens you up to way more appliers than if you were only buying Maitreya appliers in the marketplace. You don't have as many options as you do when you're doing with Omega as well. And I also covered the Omega System Relay HUD, and this one actually collapses and expands and gives you options for which zone to apply your makeup to. So it's a really useful little thing here because you can pick exactly where your makeup is going to apply if you have purchased Omega makeup. And if you have any questions about anything specifically, just shout out in the chat. This will be recorded, and part 1 of this tutorial was already recorded, so you can watch that at your leisure as well. I have offered some skip ahead links because it's quite a long stream. It's over an hour long, so there's some ways to skip it to make it a little faster for you. And I just tweeted to let people know that I'm in here, and I'm going to do the same on Plurk. And I'm just going to check. I got 4 people watching now. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to see how the health of my stream is by zooming into my face, and I'll see how quickly it shows up on my screen as well. Okay, so we're experiencing quite a bit of lag here. So I apologize for that. Unfortunately, I don't have the best internet connection. If the stream stops, I will pick up where I left off. I have more time tonight than I did the first time, so I'm able to pick that up again for you. If the stream cuts out, please just shoot me an IM in World. My name is Alaska Metropolitan. And you can just send me an IM and let me know immediately, and I will stop and start the stream again. Okay, so I'd say I'm ready to go now. I'm keeping an eye on my chat, so on the right-hand side, so if you have any questions, just ask. Lady Cook 99 said hello. Hello. So what I'm going to do first and how I'm going to start off this tutorial is I've already covered the Maitreya utilities HUD here. And I've already covered the Catwa HUD here. And I've covered the relay thing from Omega. So I've already covered picking those items up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cover saving your appliers in the Catwa heads-up utility. So it's like you don't even need to use your appliers anymore. You can just use this thing. And I'm also going to cover using appliers with the Omega relay and Maitreya, because that is what I missed out on last time. So I'm standing around, and my avatar is moving around a bit too much, so I'm just going to turn my AO off, and I'm just going to stand. And I'm also going to change my lighting effects because I want you to be able to see everything. So this is me controlling the wind light. We're using the Firestorm window. It's just quick preferences, and you can choose from your wind light skies. I've got a bunch of extra ones I've downloaded. This one in particular that I'm using now is from juicybomb.com. It's from GoGo. And this is one of hers, and I love it because it's so good at fully lighting up your avatar. And Chloe M is here. Hello, Chloe. As always, if my stream cuts out, please let me know. Just shoot me an IM in World, and I will stop and start it. I've been having problems with it, so. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to save our skin applier in the Catwa relay, or the Catwa utilities HUD. So I've got 2 different, I actually have a total of 4 heads-up utilities that are on my screen. They're all around the corners here. And what they do, I'll just open and close them so you can see them all. The only one that you can't probably have a hard time seeing is my Maitreya relay. It's actually way up in the top here, and I did that because you don't have to actually do anything with this one. This one just sits on your screen and automatically works, so I don't need to actually poke around with it at all. Okay, so my stream seems to be working good. Awesome. So I've already applied a couple of skins in the previous tutorial, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it now, and I can actually save it in the Catwa utility HUD. So this is the HUD that comes with Catwa, so it's right here, and I keep opening and closing it to show you that it can collapse and make it easier for you to look at. I've already covered all the options in here, but if you go to the Skins tab, you actually have a whole bunch of slots here, and you can save these. So all you have to do is just click the save button underneath. I realize that you might not be able to see my my cursor. I apologize for that. I can't figure out where the setting is in my streaming software. But I'm just clicking an open slot. It has a little white box, and below it says save. I clicked it, it turned black, so that means that it's working. So let's check to make sure that works. Let's try some of these other ones. I'm just going to click the black box. There we go. I'm wearing one of my other skins. And I'm going to click another one. That's the Lume skin that I demoed in the last tutorial. And this is the new one that I just saved. So if you have preferences for your skins, you can just save them easily in the Catwa Heads Up utility. You do not need to keep wearing appliers, which is really useful. You can also do the same thing with your eyebrows, your eyelashes, and your lipstick. So I'm also going to show you wearing a lipstick that is not part of a skin heads-up display. So I'm going to wear actually one of mine. I make quite a few appliers for Omega. All my makeup is Omega compatible, which means it will work with Catwa. So let's just go in, and I already had some set up here. So let's wear the cream red. So I'm just going to add that heads up utility. So this is my applier HUD. They all look a little different. So the thing with Omega makeup appliers is they actually have two zones. They have a makeup zone and a tattoo zone. These things are usually written, but this is an older applier of mine. It doesn't say. But if you click on the top half, it'll apply to the makeup zone. If you click on the bottom half, it'll apply to the tattoo zone. However, it doesn't matter with Catwa because we're controlling the zone using this relay HUD for Omega. So I want to apply my lipstick, so I'm just going to uncheck the ones that I'm not going to use, and I'm just going to check lipsticks. This is under the makeup apply in the left column here on the relay HUD. And then I'm going to click on a makeup that I want to put on. And it might take us a couple of seconds to load up. I got a notice saying that it was attempting to apply the lip applier, so it is doing something. I just don't see it live yet. Okay, still not seeing anything. I'm going to try another one. Anything? No, that's interesting. Okay, so I had this happen before, and I freaked out. I contacted the Omega people and was desperate for a solution. Apparently you can actually just click debug. So what I did to get this menu was I clicked on the little gears on my Omega Catwa relay HUD. I clicked on the little gears. It came with this pop-up window, and it had the option to debug, and I'm just going to click that and see what happens. So I clicked debug. I didn't get a feedback from that at all, but I'm assuming it worked. So now I'm just going to try another lipstick. Okay, now I've got something. It looks like it's applying a lipstick on me. Well, it's applying something on me. It's giving me a gray face anyway. I wonder if Second Life is being a little glitchy tonight. Alright, I'm gonna have a gray mask on apparently. Let's try a different lipstick. Maybe another one will load up better. Okay, there we go. So I'm wearing my lipstick now. And there's my other one that I tried on as well. Let's put on Merlot. I like the sound of that. Note that with the Catwa mesh head that the lips are they're a little bit of a strange shape. They don't necessarily conform to the usual the usual UV map. So you may want to go with either Omega appliers that are designed for Catwa, or use Catwa appliers themselves, because skin creators are going to have to go in and make some changes to their skins. This will not work with just the regular skin texture that they usually use. Like the lips are definitely a different shape. So I say I love this lipstick and I want to save it. So I can detach my HUD now. I never needed it, or my applier. I never need it ever again. I can just go into the lips and blush tab and I can just save it. Again, just an empty slot here. Just click save. It went from being a white box to a clear box. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you the option of a little preview thing. But let's just see that in action. So if I click any of these, there's the Catwa ones that come installed as well, and then there's these 2 blank slots that I've already put in there, and they're working. So it's that easy. So you can save all of your makeup, you can save all of your skins, all of them just in the Catwa HUD, and you don't have to worry about fishing around in your inventory to find a million appliers again. So that in essence is how the Catwa Omega Relay works for makeup and skins, and how the Catwa heads-up utility works and how you can save it. So in the first part of the tutorial I had already covered what all the different tabs in the Catwa HUD do, how to get that Omega Relay system heads-up display relay, and then how to use that relay with your Omega makeup, and also how to apply skins to your Catwa head. So I basically covered everything I'm going to cover for Catwa, except I did want to show you that it does come with, oh, I've got a notice there, just close that out. It does come with a hair base utility as well. I have never tried to apply a hair base layer to the Catwa mesh head. I've only used their default ones that come with it because they're actually pretty nice. So what I have here is I'm already wearing a blonde hair base from another hairstyle I was wearing earlier, but I've noticed it doesn't really match with this hair that I'm wearing. So my hair is actually from Analog Dog. It's called Bangers. This was a freebie from the hair show. So I'm just going to pull up my hair base HUD and I'm going to use that on the Catwa head. My inventory is a little discombobulated lately. Okay, so it comes as the hair base HUD. I'm just going to right click and add. I always add with heads up displays. I don't just wear them because they might take some of the ones I always use off my screen. And there are a lot of great options in here to match your hair color. So there's a few different tabs in here. As you can see, there's lots of different options. So let's just try a couple and see if we get a good match for the root color on Bangers here. That actually looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit lighter. Okay, let's go with that one. So it's not a perfect match, and I don't know if you would actually go out dressed like this, but it does give you an idea of how many options you actually do get in this HUD. There's quite a few in here. And of course you can also just straight up turn it off. You don't need to be wearing a hair base if you don't want to. I'm just going to click the X to completely get rid of that because I don't need that anymore. And the next thing that I'm going to cover is I'm just going to cover the Maitreya body wearing mesh clothes and appliers with it, and I might go into a bit of detail on how the mask mode works in that, because I know a lot of people are thrown off by that. Okay, so I'm standing here and I'm actually wearing the Fit Mesh lingerie that comes with Maitreya Lara. It's very beautiful. This is great because when you buy the mesh body and you want to try it on immediately, you don't have to wander around with your hoo-ha sticking out, as some of us like to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try on a couple of different appliers and show you how they work with the Maitreya Relay HUD. So I'm using Omega appliers, so this gives you the option that you don't have to only use Maitreya appliers. You can also use Omega and this is the fun thing, and I'm going to show you this as well. You can also use your old Tango appliers. If you have Tango outfits that don't have an Omega or a Maitreya applier and you don't want to throw them out, you can use Tango with Omega, with some caveats, which I'll go into in a second. Okay, so I'm going to get nude for you again. I'm just going to take off my my fitted mesh here. So I'm completely nude. This is when I unpack the body. I put a skin on it already, but I'm not wearing any appliers yet. So let's wear an applier. I'm going to start by wearing some lingerie. So I double clicked on that. I should have added it. So this is a lingerie applier that I've already created. This is for the Omega system. It's an Omega applier. And with the Maitreya relay HUD that I've already got attached, sort of hidden in my corner here, all that I have to do to wear an Omega applier on Maitreya Lara is wear Maitreya, wear the relay HUD, and then wear the applier, and then click the zone. And then it will ask me where I want that to go. So there's 3 different layers that you get with Maitreya. You get the tattoo, you get the clothing, or rather the underwear, and you get the clothing. And I'll show you what those look like. So this is my Maitreya heads-up display utility here, and I'm going to click on layers. And you can see it says tattoo, underwear, clothes, and there's layers here that you can turn off and on. I just unpacked this body, it's brand new, so there's nothing in here at this point. So let's put some underwear on me so I'm not nude all the time. I'm going to click on the underwear zone on my applier HUD that's right here. I just clicked on underwear, and it gives me the blue box. This means that your Maitreya relay HUD is working. I'm just going to choose underwear. So it doesn't actually matter where I click on this applier because it's going to ask me, but that isn't true of all of the different mesh bodies that use Omega. So this is really only a Maitreya thing. And you'll notice that it already turned on the layer for me in my utilities HUD here, which is really nice. It turned on that little t-shirt icon. So let's do the same for my underwear. I'm just going to click on underwear. Again, doesn't matter which button I click on. There could be up to 3. There could be a tattoo layer in here too. But I'm going to choose underwear from the pop-up, and again, it displayed it for me. So that's all I have to do. It's that easy. And I didn't have to really do anything special with the Maitreya relay itself. It's just, again, it's a heads-up display. It's just hiding up here in the corner. It just needs to be on your screen for it to be working. Oh, I'm wearing my beautiful lingerie now. So let's say that I love this lingerie and I want to keep it as sort of a default option when I'm out and around in the world so that I'm not nude for everybody. So the Maitreya Utilities HUD over here, this big black box, it actually gives me the option to save appliers. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click on this applier save slots. It's numbered 1 through 5. I'm just going to click on 1. I'm going to say save current. And ideally that would save this underwear set. We're going to test it in a moment and see if it did work. I've had mixed results with this actually. So I'm done with applying my underwear, so I can just detach that applier. I'm not detaching my relays and I'm not detaching my utilities HUD. I can hide it. But I don't need the applier on anymore because I'm already dressed. So the other thing that I wanted to show you was if you wear more than one applier, you might find that you have a conflict. This is really common with tattoos. You wear a tattoo, you wear an applier like bikini over top of it, you teleport and all of a sudden you're nude. So this is a common issue, and this is what's known as the alpha masking issue. So what this means is that if you've got 2 semi-transparent things and they overlap, they conflict. So this doesn't happen with the default classic avatar, but this does happen to your mesh body with the layers. Because the layers are so close together, your graphics card just doesn't really know how to deal with it. So I'm going to wear another. Again, I double clicked and I shouldn't have. And it detached my Catwa. So this is why I always right click and add. Fortunately, I already saved an outfit in my outfits with all this stuff, so I can just re-add it from there. So again, right click and add when you're dealing with HUDs, otherwise you're going to lose your stuff. This is a little bit of a different Omega applier. So this is one that I've created that is actually a materials HUD. So what that means is that I get options to add shininess and so on to it. However, the Maitreya Lara mesh body does not support the Omega materials. It supports it for its own avatar, or for its own appliers. So Maitreya appliers can have materials, but Omega this Omega HUD will only apply the texture, and all materials is specular and normal mapping, it's called, and it's just additional texture information that controls how shiny is something, how far away from the camera is it, that kind of thing. So it can give depth and realism to your clothes. However, for the most part, designers like me, even if we do use materials, we also bake some lighting effects into our clothes as well. So it doesn't really matter. It's a fun add-on, but you know, honestly, the clothes still look great without it. So I have these funky space pants, and I'm totally gonna wear them. And instead of wearing them on my underwear layer, because I already have something on my underwear layer of my underwear, I'm gonna put them on my pants. So again, this is I'm using the relay, so I do not need to click specifically on pants. It will ask me in this pop-up, but I did anyway, just for the sake of accuracy. There we go. I'm now wearing my pants. So what happens if I teleport around? Am I going to lose my pants? Well, I haven't seen them disappear yet. I've applied these jeans or these leggings so I can take them off now. I haven't seen the glitch yet, so I'm going to try to make it happen for you. So I'm going to teleport away a couple of times. I'm also going to turn my AO back on so I don't walk like an ape. So let's just teleport to a sandbox and back again and see what happens. Okay, so far so good. I've got my pants on. I'm also going to try turning on some advanced lighting settings so that you guys can just, so it will just look a little better, and maybe that will trigger my alpha glitch that I wanted to show you. It's like the one time you want something to not work in SL and you want it to be glitchy and everything's good. Alright, one more teleport and then I'm going to give up. Oh hey, people are watching me live. Hello! Yep, okay, the glitch is not happening. If it did, actually, I could always try putting on a tattoo as well. I don't have one ready to go, but I can run a search in my inventory and see if I can track one down. So what I need is I need an Omega tattoo, or a Maitreya one could also work. Well, I'm not that optimistic though. I don't think I own any. Okay, here we go. So this is what the tattoo that's currently, or the tattoo applier that's currently on my screen says Omega applier pants underpants tattoo. That's what the classic applier looks like. So just in case you're curious what the original looked like. So this is kind of a vintage thing. I think this was maybe a year ago that they looked like this. I'm just going to click on the tattoo layer again. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get the blue pop up in a second anyway. Let's add it to the tattoo layer. And now let's also add a top tattoo as well. Again, this is the classic applier. I've gone through and reskinned the ones I've shown you already with the gray background. Those ones are mine. So I'm just going to click on the top. And I chose to go on the tattoo layer. I'm just going to detach it. It might take a moment for these to show up. I don't see any tattoo on me at all. I'm not sure that I'm even wearing one. That could be the glitch I wanted to show you though. I'm going to try turning my pants off and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's nice. I really like that. I wonder where I got that from. Okay, so it looks like it's from R. Sugar and Roses tattoo. I have no idea. That's kind of neat though. I like it. Kind of like a faded kind of Mexican thing going on with it. But it is not doing the alpha glitch, so I can't show you it. Well, you can kind of see it on the bottom actually. I'm going to stand still. I'm just going to turn my AO off. I'm going to zoom in so I can show you. So notice that my tattoo is actually not showing up on part of my leg. This is the issue that I'm trying to show you. Okay? So the way to solve that is every mesh body is a little bit different in their utility HUD and how they solve this, but in the Maitreya, it's under the Layers tab, which is the one I currently have open. Underneath the icons for your tops and bottoms, there's a button that's a little difficult to see. It says Mask Mode. So all you do is you click on it and you turn it on. And now I have everything visible. So what Mask Mode does is it changes the image from being the texture, rather that forms your clothing or your tattoo or whatever, from being completely transparent or semi-transparent to being either completely transparent or solid. So it takes away that. It's almost like if you had, you can see it on the lace here where it's got a hard line instead of the soft lace blend. So it's not ideal for stuff like this, for lingerie and so on. Like, it looks okay from a distance, but up close you're losing quite a bit of detail. However, my tattoo is now showing up. I can also try turning it off. When I turn it off again, I'm not having the glitch anymore, but I'm sure the second I teleport or if I show this to anybody else, they're going to see it a little different. So let's try turning the mask mode on the tattoo. And it disappears completely because it's so transparent already. So anyway, that's how you solve the mask mode issue. And this is something that comes up in the Maitreya Lara Friends group and in the Omega Systems support group all the time. People constantly run into this issue, and it's not that obvious what to do. So when you're wearing a mesh body and you're wearing multiple applier layers, you just want to look for the mask mode button. Sometimes it's called mask mode, sometimes it's called alpha mask, sometimes it's called alpha mode, sometimes it's called blend versus mask. It'll be something like that in the layers area, and then where you turn your applier layers off and on. And in the Maitreya Lara utility HUD, it's under the tattoo, underwear, and clothes sections with your icons there. So I'm kind of curious to see if our applier slots actually worked. So I'm just going to click. That gives me the option to save a new one. I'm going to turn all the layers off. I'm going to be naked again. I'm just going to click the one, which is where we saved our previous applier look. I'm just going to click apply this. And let's see. Okay, it saved my bottom, it did not save my top, and this is a problem an issue I've had before with this. So it doesn't work perfectly every time. I'm just changing my lighting back again so I'm not so dark. So, say you want to wear a combination of both appliers and fitted mesh or mesh clothing. So that's typically what I do. I wear a little bit of both because appliers are better for close fitting, like clothing, like lingerie or swimwear or stockings or socks or gloves or leggings or bodysuits or even just like closely fitted tops or bodycon dresses. Those things all work fairly well as appliers, but some things you need to have mesh. You know, it's a difference in how the clothes are presented. So I want to put my space pants back on. So I'm going to find them back in my inventory again. Right click and add, don't wear, you'll lose it again. And let's put it on my underwear layer this time. Here we go, here's my underwear. Notice that I'm still in mask mode, but these look way better than the lace lingerie did because they're pants and they have a hard edge anyway. So if you're playing around with mask mode, it's better to put the mask mode on the layers that have sort of a hard edge to them anyway, so like a top or like a non-lace bodysuit or whatever usually works pretty well, or leggings. And I'm going to also wear with this. Actually, I'll show you one more thing. I have in here, and what's on my screen right now, is an old applier-based or an old system-based top that only has Lola's Tango's appliers. It does not have Omega yet. Maybe it's been updated, I don't know. So this is an older clothing item that I got. So it only has Lola's Tango and Slink hand appliers, but I want to wear it to my Maitreya mesh body, and because I have the Omega relay on, I can. So I'm just going to add it to my screen. This is the old Lola's applier. I'm just going to press to apply. I'm going to choose, let's go on the underwear layer again. I'm going to choose the underwear layer. And as you can see, it works. So you actually have three options for applier clothing on Maitreya Lara. You have the Omega appliers, assuming you have the Omega relay. You have the Maitreya appliers, which are ones that are created by people specifically for Maitreya. And you also have the old Lola's appliers. If you have any of those old ones in your inventory, you can use them. Now, there's a bit of a caveat with that I have to tell you. You cannot use Lola's appliers that are missing part of the texture. So these are ones that if you put them on, there's like a nipple, like a skin applier, you put it on and there's a nipple in your belly button. So those are old ones that do not work properly. So unfortunately, they don't all work. You just need to test them out and see where you go with them. And if it's a Lola's and Fat As applier, I know that's a common combination from back in the day when we were very much into mesh bodies parts instead of mesh bodies, and people wore bits and pieces of different creator stuff. You can actually get a Fat As note card converter, and you can make your own Omega applier with that. I've never done it. I don't actually own that much applier clothing from a couple of years ago. Most of my stuff's new, so I don't really have a tutorial for that, but it is something that you can do. Okay, I'm going to take that top off now because I want to... Oh, my gloves are still on, so just click gloves on off if you want to take them off. So I have already purchased a cutout tank top from, I think it's Isan. Just going to right click and add it. If I wore it, it might have taken off my body, so it's another reason why we wear it. And now I'm wearing that, and the reason I wanted to show you this tank top is because I wanted to show you how good it looks when you combine mesh and rigged mesh and applier clothing. It doesn't all have to be like club wear, it doesn't all have to be lingerie, as well as fitted mesh or rigged mesh. So this, I don't think this is actually fitted. Maybe it is. I can't tell honestly, but I did want to show you this this tank top because not only is it my favorite color, and not only does it go really well with these leggings, it also auto hides my alphas for me, and I wanted to tell you a bit about alphas. So what alphas are is if you have worn your classic avatar, you know that there's an alpha layer. You put it on and it hides parts of your body so that mesh looks better on you, so you don't have like weird bits of your body sticking out. So the difference between mesh bodies and classic avatar bodies is you no longer have that alpha layer. You can no longer have that level of finesse and control. Instead, what you have is an alpha tab in your heads-up display, your utility that comes with your mesh body. And as you can see, part of it is already hidden for me. And the reason that that's hidden for me is because when I wore this tank top, and I wanted to show you this because it's really awesome, it automatically hid parts of my body for me. So Maitreya has released a auto hide system that some of the better mesh brands out there, like Isan, have started to implement in their fitted mesh clothing. So it's automatically hidden part of me, which is really cool. Okay, so say I don't want to wear that. I'm going to take it off. Now parts of my body are still hidden because even though it will auto hide when you wear it, it doesn't automatically take it off. So in the alpha tab, I'm just going to click show all to get my body back. So let's go back to wearing my lingerie because I wanted to show you how the alpha mask works with taking parts of your body off to wear something like, I have a nice kimono I want to show you. So I'm going to turn my underwear top and bottom back on, and I'm just going to, this still doesn't work, does it? It just gives me the bottom. That's so weird. Okay. I'm going to put my top back on, adding my applier HUD, and I'm just going to put the top back on, click anywhere, blue box, pick underwear, turn mask mode off because I'm only wearing the underwear layer. I don't have any multiple layers set up, so I only have my underwear here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to add this nice kimono. So this kimono is from Nylon Outfitters, and she makes lots of awesome stuff. Come on. It's rigged, but it's not liking me right now. Maybe if I turn my AO on. Maybe not. I'm going to detach it and reattach it here. No? I swear I wore this the other day and I had no problems. Second Life. Alright, I got 3 different copies of this thing, so I'm just gonna find them and wear them. Wow, it does not like me today. I might actually have to relog, which means we will lose the stream. I can also try a different item, but I think that that's just Second Life being Second Life. Okay, let's try a dress here. Okay, I've got a basic little red dress on. So this is a mesh item. It's it must be. I mean, obviously it's rigged, but it is not a fitted mesh, so it's not designed for the Maitreya body. You can still wear items that are not designed for the Maitreya body. There's no problem with that. You just need to use your alpha HUD. So I'm going to freeze my avatar, and I'm using Firestorm, so it's an option under Avatar, Pose Stand, and that just puts me in one spot and freezes me in this pose. Oh, I like this dress and this lipstick combination, actually. That's pretty good. So I'm going to do the traditional T pose for fitting's sake. I'm just going to double check and make sure my stream is still running. Yep, it looks like we're still good. I am very lagged, so you're going to see stuff far behind me, but I want to make sure the stream doesn't drop and we don't lose information like last time. So I'm going to go back into my alpha tabs, or my alpha tab. I'm just going to start masking stuff out. They actually make it pretty easy on the Maitreya HUD. Like, there's an option for the chest. Let's click that. And what you can always do is use that as a starting point and just put back the layers that you need to. So all I'm doing is I'm just clicking to hide and show the zones. If they're gray, they're invisible, and if they're white, they are shown. And I can actually go a little bit lower on the arms than that. Oops. Okay, so the top is looking better. Let's get my back in there. My booty's sticking out, so let's fix that. And I guess we'll have to do my upper legs too. So there's a little bit of an audio feedback. When you click on a zone, it gives you a little clicky noise. And just do the same for the front. I don't have quite the level of control that I need on that lower leg area, unfortunately, but there's a solution for that. So it looks like I actually chose a dress size that was slightly too small for me. So I have a couple of options here. I can go one size bigger, but I don't want to lose all my hard work, right? So I actually have the option to save my alpha slots. So I actually saved something for demo purposes in slot 1. So I'm not going to override slot 1. I'm going to save slot 2. So at the bottom here where it says alpha save slots, I'm just going to click on 2. And I'm going to click save current. So now that when I change and when I want to go back to wearing this this little red dress, I can just click that save slot, and it will replay what I just did to build this. Now that dress does not fit me that well, so I'm just going to detach it, and I have to find it in my inventory again. Okay, it's right here. Let's try size 3. See if that's a better fit. Yeah, that looks much better. You know what this dress reminds me of? If you played The Sims, this is totally Bella Goth. Bella Goth would love this dress. Okay, and I want to show you that the that alpha thing did work, so I'm just going to click on 1, and let's apply it. So this was the one for Isan that I saved earlier. And let's click on 2, apply this. There we go, now I'm ready for that dress again. And I can get out of my T-pose here. So when you're not using your Maitreya HUD, you can just sneak it into the corner there. So I think that covers everything that I wanted to cover. So we covered using these different layers and how to use those with your Maitreya relay. We covered turning your layers off and on. We covered mask mode, and we covered using the applier save slots. Unfortunately, I've never had very good luck with them, but they are there. In the alpha tab section, we covered using this alpha thing to show and hide parts of your body to wear with different types of mesh, and also how to work with these alpha save slots. So you can save your alphas if those things that you wear all the time. Actually, there's a couple more things I can show you. So on the Skins and Options tab, you have options for your foot shape. So if you have shoes that fit the Maitreya mid or high or flat feet, you can change them here. You just have to press the button for the foot shape that you need. And I had some shoes already set up. These are actually mine. These are not rigged, so you actually do have to wear the foot shaper with them, but there we go. Oh my god, I'm totally turning into Bella Goth. I think she had shoes like these too, except they were black. So there we go, now I'm wearing shoes. So when you're buying shoes for your Maitreya body, you have a couple of different options. You can either get the shoes designed for Maitreya, so they should be labeled, they should be a registered developer with Maitreya to offer those. Or you can also wear your body with your slink feet. You don't have to throw all your slink shoes out. The body will fit slink feet, no problem. Another thing I can show you really quickly is you can, also with the Omega system, is you can wear Omega nails, but I want to show you why it doesn't really work that well. So I've got a nail applier that's actually saved in my system here. That's an Omega nail applier. I'm going to freeze my avatar just so that you can see the nails a bit better. So again, I have my Omega relay is on. It's up here in the corner. It's kind of hidden, and I'm wearing an Omega nail applier. This is actually an Omega Materials nail applier. It has lots of options. You can just ignore most of them for this tutorial. So I'm going to click on one of my nails, and you'll see that doesn't look right. So what happens is the Maitreya fingernails and toenails texture area is different from the Omega one and different from the Slink one. So it will work, like it will allow you to put the texture on, but it doesn't look right. So you can either go with a texture that's completely the same color all the way through, and that might look okay, or you can buy nail polish specifically for Maitreya, which is your better option. So this is my Maitreya applier for nails. You probably actually already know me from doing nails because it's the thing I sell the most of and what I'm better known for. So I have now updated all of the metallic pack nail polish with Maitreya specific appliers to just get around this problem, because people were buying the Omega and then having problems with it on their Maitreya Lara. So there's one that's specifically designed for, oops, zooming into my bum, one that's specifically designed for Maitreya Lara. And you can see that looks way better. So that's just a shopping tip. Don't buy Omega nails with your Omega relay and your Maitreya body, because Omega nails will apply, but they will not look correct. And it's not just true of my nail pliers, it's all of them. And I think that covers pretty much everything that I wanted to cover, so thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions or anything, there's a really useful group that I think Stargirl's joined me here. There's a really useful group that you can join in World, Maitreya Lara Friends, it's called. It's really useful, and people in there are happy to help you with any questions that you may have. You can also join the Omega Obsession group, which will give you tips on everything that's available for Omega for appliers. It's basically a designer announcement group. You can also join Omega Applier System Support if you're having any problems with your relay. They'll be happy to help you out. And I think that that's everything. So this is recorded, so you can watch at your leisure at a later date. And again, I apologize for the stream quality. And if you have any further issues or need anything else, just check out my tutorials page, and my website is alaskametro-sl.com. There's a bunch of tutorials on there for a bunch of different mesh bodies and for the clothing that I provide. I sell clothing that is designed for, I sell pliers rather, for Omega, Slink, and the Mesh project, and I also sell some limited mesh items. I'm getting more into doing mesh these days. And I also do tons of makeup. All my makeup is Omega compatible. I also create skins. All my skins are Omega compatible. So if you want to check me out, you can just go to alaskametro-sl.com, or you can creep out my profile. I'm Alaska Metropolitan in Second Life. I don't have a display name, that is my name. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me again later.